Thank you. I'm Sherwin with Gospel Music Buzz. Hi, Michael. Hi, Martin. How are you?
Very well, thank you, buddy. Pleasure to speak.
Awesome, awesome. So I guess I'll jump right in. I'll start with you first, Michael. David journey is filled with, immense highs and lows. But which part of his transformation, whether as a warrior, a leader, or a man of faith, sort of resonate most with you?
Well, I think right now the story just lends itself to the shepherd David, and I think just spending a lot of time outdoors with the sheep and that solitude really cultivates. I think that faith in David. We don't think about this enough, but when we're alone, we want companionship, and I think David sought the of God, companionship of God, and it really prepared him for what was to come in his relationships in the castle with King Saul and ultimately with Goliath, and equipping him with courage and bravery to stand up to someone who is very, very clearly more fine-tuned for the task at hand. Uh, so
Fine tooth for the task.
yeah.
Thank you. And Martin, Mr. Goliath. So Goliath is often portrayed, as just this simple brute, this person that is just after one thing. But we all know with every great villain, it has severe depth, right? There's a lot of depth with any great villain. So did you bring any unique nuance to his character that might surprise the viewers?
Great question, buddy. And I agree 100%. I think to have a true villain, he needs a true backstory. He needs a purpose and a reason. And your answer is yes. The script that I was handed gave me the opportunity to bring a story that people will understand. They'll understand my trigger, the rage of Goliath, the purpose of him stepping forward and calling out King Saul and wanting the fight. And I think that just adds to the value of this show, and it adds to the purpose of the story, David and Goliath. And I think you're completely right. I don't think anyone just wants to be evil or wants to be bad. There's a backstory to it. There's reasons that people take revenge or people are evil. And ultimately, I think that's one takeaway we can get from this is that you don't judge the book by its cover. Take time to see the whys, the wheres, and understand. And as faith goes, forgiveness is a massive part, and sometimes understanding why allows you to forgive.
Wow. Great, great response. Thank you. I know we are almost at time, but I'll ask this question and either one of you can take it. I know the series, blends intense action with deep emotional, and spiritual theme. What was the most challenging or even, rewarding scene for any one of you? Any one of you can take it.
The most rewarding scene for me was, I'd say, in a bizarre way, the end. Because it kind of gives you that hope that good can prevail, and I think that's for the audience is important to take away, and the whole story of and all of the stories within the Bible. I think there has to be a purpose, and there has to be a reason, and there has to be strength within that to keep that book so powerful in people's lives.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I've already started to go through it and watching it. I love it. I love this. Just reimagining. Thank you both. Did an amazing job. I know folks are going to love it. Thank you both for your time today.
Thank you so much. Very kind, buddy. You take care.
Hi, John. Excited to
How
be
you
speaking
doing?
to you today.
Thank you. I'm likewise.
The House of David, tells a timeless story of leadership, faith, destiny. What do you hope audience to take away from this series, given that, it's a reimagined series of a well-known, biblical
Yeah.
narrative? So what do you hope folks to take away?
Well, first of all, I'm an entertainer, and so I hope they enjoy it. I hope they enjoy it with their family. And but beyond that, it is a story about destiny. It's a hero's journey, and I think the reason those stories tend to transcend is because it's written in our soul. We all want to feel that we have some destiny to fulfill and some role to play, in a grand design. And that is the story of David. And I hope that people, it's about gospel music. David's a songwriter, and
It was, yeah.
He's a good one. And you not live the band for King and Country. They're covering this song, Psalm 40, the U2 song.
Oh wow.
The
Okay.
U2 song is 40 years old, but the song itself is 3,000 years old. And if you go to a U2 show or for King and Country show and you hear the song, it's so amazing. And then if you think this was written by a king who did not have to be this authentic.
Yeah.
History is written by the victor. A king does not have to be honest like this. And so when you begin to dramatize the story, because there's never been really, in my opinion, a portrayal
Hmm.
like this of David's life, where you then you reread the Psalms and you have much greater understanding of them.
Of course.
And there's only about 15% of the Psalms that are like, praise God, everything's going great. The
Oh,
rest are like, I am depressed, I am angry, I don't know what God, where are you? What's happening?
yeah.
Defend me, my life isn't going well. And that's why they're just so relatable as great songs are. And so I hope that people watch the series and love it. And then I hope they open the book and read this dude's words, because there's a reason why we're still singing his songs 3,000 years later. And there was an incredible level of honesty in the way he talked about his own failures and the yearnings of his soul. And I hope people read his words, because they echo through the centuries for sure.
Wow. And that's that's a brilliant response. Thank you so much for that. And I think you kind of led into my second question here, which based on time, but with any biblical adaptation, right, there's always a balance between historical accuracy, creative storytelling, which you were alluding to just now. But how do you sort of approach that balance in the House of David and make the story both cinematic and, you kind of touch on it just now, authentic?
Well, yeah, it's a great question. I like this verse in the book of Acts. Paul says about David that he served the purposes of God in his generation, and I think that's the thing, is we're all tasked with, whether it's a movie or whether it's gospel music, giving the eternal truth to our time. For me, mass entertainment is the way I do that, and it's a visual language. And when you get to the life of David, there's only a few chapters like that we're covering in this season,
Yeah.
and so you have to really extrapolate stories out of what's in the Bible, because it's really just the events. The Bible sometimes, especially the Old Testament, is like flying through, Disneyland in a jet. You're just, it's an overview. And so
Yeah.
it's fun to really try to stay true to the themes of the story and the meaning of the story, as best I can, and know that everyone behind this story and the people that, myself, that's in creative control of the story, I love the book that it's based off of. I remember, and I'm doing my best in every way to draw people to what's absolutely true, and everything that is in the story will be in the show. And then as we extrapolate drama around it, we're trying to do that with
Mm.
great reverence and awe and wonder of the story itself, and trying to stay authentically true to the story's themes. But I'm not ever going to give you the Bible, but hopefully I'll give you something that'll get you interested in the Bible again. That's the goal. And it's a TV show. So it's not the source, but it's something that I hope will draw you to the source and entertain you while doing it. That's the goal.
Wow. John, listen, I can talk to you all day. I know my time is up. I appreciate you so much. I've already started to get through the series here. Love it. Excited. Definitely what you think is going to happen is not what's going to happen. I love that. And, you guys did an amazing job. So thank you
Great.
so much. Appreciate
I
your
hope you
time
enjoy
today.
it. All right, take
Yes,
care.
thank you.